Warm welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for to our brilliant delegates today as well. Since morning, I know I've been running around, and thanks to all of you for staying back and listening to all our esteemed delegates and esteemed speakers today. And so, coming on to this topic today. Sir, I would like to welcome all our very esteemed speakers today at this dais. And the topic today is public private partnerships driving innovations, efficiency in housing projects. So, I would like to start with you, Dr. Partha, sir. If you would like to give us some opening remarks on the topic today.
Very good afternoon. Pooja, thank you for this opening statement. Before I start, I will again quote Victor Hugo, a famous French novelist. He says, "No power on earth can stop an idea whose time has come." In fact, today, the public private partnership has come. We cannot escape from this reality. Though we are in government, without the partners with the private sector, we cannot execute or ground any policy decisions. So, particularly in the sector of housing, which is so very important, and providing affordable housing to the poor, urban poor or rural poor, the intervention of private sector is extremely important, because government cannot escape from the involving all the stakeholders. So all the stakeholders needs to be involved, because everybody has a very important role to play. Private sector means I don't confine it to just to builders. In terms of ideas, in terms of expertise, in terms of experience, in terms of suggestions, feedback, healthy criticisms, everybody we need to get into everything, so that we can evolve a policy which will be comprehensive. That is what the whole idea is. Now the public-private partnership has become, with the PMAOI 1 and 2, both the editions, the data has been started. I would, since in my last session I spoke about the Odisha's experience, what we have done during we are one of the first states to adopt this policy. So in 2015-16, we have started this public-private partnership in affordable housing. We adopted a policy called Odisha Urban Housing Mission. Under this mission, there were basically three verticals. One vertical is that since there is a land constraint, everybody knows that there is a land constraint. We thought that the land, whichever land is available inside the urban area, because the target is that let us not move out these slum dwellers from their traditional profession, because if you shift them 20 kilometers, 30 kilometers away from the city, that model will fail. They will never shift. They will rent it out or sell it out. So in the same slum area, if it can be leasable by the government, no revenue laws is conflicting with this, then that particular slum area can be in situ. Development can be done. For that, a particular organization has been engaged by Government of Odisha. It is the International Finance Corporation of the World Bank. They make a complete study and gave a report by which we started this project. So in my next deliberation, I will say that how we gave importance to private sector and how we have developed a mechanism whereby, in terms of policy decisions, in terms of policy executions, in terms of audit, in terms of both social and economic audit, engineering audit, and in terms of deliverables, how we have made different milestones we have done over the years. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I would love to ask this same question to Shri Sandeep Deshmukh, sir. If you would like to elaborate and tell us about your opening remarks on this topic today.
As per Sir's deliberations on policies of SRA in Odisha, in Maharashtra, there is in Maharashtra, the SRA is in functions in 1995, and up till now we have delivered around 2.5 lakh houses to slum dwellers, and another 7 lakh houses are in pipeline. Basically, it is also public PPP model, where it is done by the private people for public purpose, and some incentive they got in sale area and everything. But right now we are thinking that this all the model is based on the sale area, sale price. So model is not picking up. So government of Maharashtra is also doing on its own the around 2 lakh houses, so that this model will get boost, because there are some areas where sale price is less. So in that area this PPP model is not working. But where sale price of the houses is more, this model definitely work. And I think Maharashtra is a pioneer in adopting this model in 1995.
So I think I'll ask Kushal sir for that. So, or would you answer? Yes, opening remarks, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. As Partha Sarathi sir has told, we cannot escape from the reality of public-private partnership. It is inevitable part of the today's administration. If you look at the entire scenario of the government work or the entire administration, it may be health, it may be PWD, I mean communication and roads, it may be building, it may be in the agriculture. Everywhere we are entering into the field of public and private partnership, because government has limitation. Government can't venture into all sectors. We do really need help of the private sectors. And as sir said, we have to get along with this. And I hope that all governments of India, they have already adapted to this policy and they have been doing very well. And I hope that in days to come, this public-private partnership will get enforced and more developmental results will be seen. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I would like to go over to Kushal Banerjee, sir, to talk about your opening remarks on this today's topic.
One very important aspect of the topic, what you have kept for this panel, one important word in this is innovation. How to bring in innovation in a public-private partnership. So that best comes when you join hands together and leverage the strength of both public and private partnership. As the other panel members, respected panel members have talked about, yes, it is there everywhere. Not only housing, roads, bridge, health, everywhere it is there. And it can be in any form, like I'm talking about my own companies, oil and gas sectors, what we are doing. As I talked to you about the startups, lot of disruptive technologies are getting imbibed by us. From them we bring it from outside, and a lot of new innovations are coming up because of that. So that is very, very vital. Today, one of the startup, when I was talking to him on a reduction of emission from a DG set, so I was telling him that these emissions what are happening from a DG set from across our terminals or the retail outlets and the pumps, bring something so that it gets reduced. You can bring down the reduction of the emissions, carbon particles. He says, sir, why are you talking about this, of bringing down the reduction? I'll convert that carbon into ink. And your entire stationery, what you buy in your company, a government company, you print with that ink. Now, I had never thought about it. I was only thinking about bringing down the emission. He is thinking one step ahead, conversion of carbon into ink. So that's what comes when you join hands together. That innovation, what you talked about, comes because of that. So that is very important, that if you want to progress, bring in new things, work together, join hands together, a lot of things will develop. That's what I wanted to convey. My own experience I'm talking.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for all your wonderful opening remarks. So I would like to come to Partha, sir. How can public-private partnerships address the challenges of affordable housing and neither the public or private sector can solve alone? Which is, if you could elaborate on this answer, sir.
As we have been discussing this since morning, that the biggest challenge for affordable housing has always been the availability of land and the quality of low cost housing we're doing for them, and the finance, obviously the finance who would support what, and how all the stakeholders who will have their own interest or whatever, they will be attracted toward this. Because normally what happens in a particular this affordable housing sector, as I told you in my earlier discussion as well, that the builders are not very keen for this, because this is a subsidy based, whatever subsidy best they get from government. So they were not very keen for this. So that is the reason what we have evolved actually when we adopted this PPP mode for affordable housing as per the PMAY guideline. We have constituted a consortium. Its consortium is a very comprehensive consortium where we deliberately put RERA as a member, because every builder has to get a clearance from RERA for their own business purposes. So we thought that if the RERA would be there, at least the builders will say cannot afford to say no. That was strategically put there. So we're the first state actually. The RERA started in Odisha, and we kept them as one of their members, and the Builders Association and all other stakeholders, and it's a government panel headed by the Chief Secretary, and couple of secretaries were there. So we have this consortium was constituted as per the recommendation of the IFC. And after this, when the BDA, the Bhubaneswar Development Authority, had given the land for construction all, when the important is that whether the quality of construction is proper or not. So that is also one of the biggest challenges, because it's a low cost housing. That cannot mean that we can do anything. So that monitoring was very important for us. So for 3 years, we have a very roadmap with the milestones, and everywhere there is a monitoring system, a group of technical people, the financial people, government officers. So a group of people constantly visiting and giving reports and all. And I'll tell you that for this initiative of the government of Odisha, Odisha is the only state which got the best innovative practices award from the Ministry of Urban Affairs, Government of India 2021 for this effort. So this PPP mode adopted, as gentleman told, it has been implemented in since 95, and now it is no longer, it is failing now. What is important here? What innovations we are putting in this? We must understand why this particular the private partnership is not working. So it is our ability to find, because ultimately, since we are a welfare state, we have to go to the poorest of the poor people we have to reach. Naturally, it is our duty bound that we have to find the reasons of this, why it's not working. Because government, as are told, government has limitations. Government cannot be anywhere, everywhere. We cannot. We need to intervene them. They are in terms of also ideas also, in terms of informations also. I mean, always we need informations all. I mean, this in fact gives a lot of innovative practices to do. So the experiment has to be continuously in flux. It cannot be dynamic. It cannot be static. So that is what I'm telling you, that when we cannot escape from the idea of this PPP mode, we have adopted this, and Odisha government has a complete PPP cell headed by a secretary, a senior rank principal secretary. It's a department which is headed by one of the principal senior most officers of the state for entire monitoring part, for across the department, not for housing, all other departments as well. So it is all about what practices you are doing and how transparently you are floating the tender and getting the responses from the builders, be it the construction, be it water supply, be it ecology, green technology is adopted or not, or how these beneficiaries are identified, whether they have the single window clearances or not, whether they are whatever they are investing and whatever they are doing, was it quality or is there or not. All these things need to be done, and accordingly socio-economic auditing is also to be done. So this has been the practices so far. We have a very good response. and in fact we have been successful model, because in Bhubaneswar we require around 80,000 houses. Out of that, I think 45,000 houses are already been done. So that is one of the models which has been succeeded. That is why I am sharing my own experience. I was the BMC commissioner. I was also the CMC commissioner. We have experimented this and we have succeeded. I can't say I can vouch that we have succeeded 100%, but we have succeeded in a very very significant way. So this can be experimented. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your perspectives on how the development and government of Odisha is happening. So, with that, I would like to come to Mr. Shambharkar, Milind Shambharkar, sir, from government of Maharashtra. Sir, I would like to ask you, driving innovation and efficiency in housing projects. In prospect to that, I would like to ask you that in the island city of Mumbai, particularly South Mumbai, that is grappling with the challenge of redeveloping old and abundant buildings. So, with over 13,000 buildings, I am told that around including 12,000 from the colonial period. So, how can this issue be effectively addressed, and what innovations is being implemented? If you could throw some light to our esteemed audiences.
Yes, you rightly said, as of today we have 13,000 old buildings. I wouldn't say each and every building requires repair at this moment, but eventually they are going to be redeveloped. So if you look at the history of this repair board, it is pretty old board. It came into being in 1969. Through the journey of this last 55 years, board has done lot of things, and you said the word challenge. So every time you come up with some policy, challenges are always there, and this board has withstood the all challenges by changing the rules, regulation, adapting to the changing situation, and delivering to the needy people. See, since initially when we began in 1969, redevelopment was going on as per the existing FSI. In 1985, we shifted to 2 FSI. In 99, we increased that to 2.5. And 2009, we shifted to 3 FSI. Plus incentive of 70%. Later on, that incentive was changed to 100%. So also, the sizes of the tenements, rehabilitation tenements, was also increased from 225 to 300, along with the incentive and the fungible FSI, of course. So during this period, MADA has issued around 2,400 NOCs, which is going to house around 85,000 families, and out of this, half of the buildings have already been developed. So during this process, what VP sir has told in the morning session, there were many challenges. The first challenge was that the tenants had no right to develop the properties. It was solely dependent on the owners. If the owners come forward with the proposals, then only we could move ahead. So there has been change in the policy. The first change was Government of Maharashtra introduced new section 79A, in which now tenants have been given rights to develop the property. And the beauty of the 79A is that it is time bound and compulsory development. If you find any building which is dilapidated in condition, we issue notice for 3 months, later on for 6 months. If owner doesn't come forward, then automatically it moves on to the tenant. The tenant has to come up with the proposal within 6 months. If tenants fails, then MADA itself takes over the proposal and MADA develops the property. So the main beauty of 79A is compulsory development and time-bound development. So this is going to be a really game changer in future, and we have already issued around 855 notices, and our deputy chief engineers are hearing the matters. And so far we have received around 48 proposals. In such a short span of time, we have received 48 proposals. That speaks about our success. The second amendment which Government of Maharashtra has done, it is in section 91A. It has happened in many cases that NOCs were issued to the developers and developers stalled the project. They were not ready to develop the project. And the people were already dishoused. So 91A was specifically issued for the projects wherein buildings were demolished and the tenants were shifted to either transit camp or private accommodation, and they were not getting their tenements in time. So in such case, again, it is time bound and compulsory development. We issue notice to the owner that he should start work within 15 days. If not, then that land is acquired and it is developed by the MADA. So both these sections are going to be a game changer, and this was the biggest challenge MADA was facing, and MADA has already taken part to solve this challenge, and hopefully in days to come, we believe that many more proposals will come. I am happy to tell you most of the proposals which have received under 33(7) as of today under section 79A, they have come from the tenants. So that speaks about the success of this section. So hopefully in days to come, we'll definitely deliver. And as you said, it is really a big challenge for the city like this, which is very congested city. For that we have shifted to 33(9). This is the section which goes for the cluster development. So 33(7) is either for individual building or for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 building. But cluster is something like that you can add more buildings in that. You can have a cluster of 15, 20 buildings and you can redevelop. So in that case you get many more spaces like open spaces, garden, public utility land. So the decongestion in Mumbai can be done away with development under cluster only. So we hope to deliver more under 33(9). And as VP sir also told, we are coming up with the project of Kamatipura. Hopefully in days to come, we are going to float the tender. And eventually you will come to know the biggest cluster development that will be coming in Mumbai. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. So amazingly said. I would like to, as we are running out of time, I would just like to come to Mr. Sandeep, sir. What role does PPP play in the Slum Rehabilitation Authority's initiatives, and how have they contributed to the innovation and efficiency in the housing projects?
In public-private partnership, as I already told you, कि basic our model is PPP model. But now in practices when it has changed, so our initial surveys or our initial preparedness for the project, it is done through a private partnership. Now drone-based surveys there, and we have enlisted some GIS-based companies. They do surveys for us. So that means our cumbersome process are being made easier by the private players since they have the technology. And secondly, a basic private participation in slum redevelopment is not only in situ. In Sanjay Gandhi National Park, there are more than 10,000 number of slum dwellers, and High Court had ordered that they should be resettled out of Sanjay Gandhi National Park. So now the government doesn't have that much machinery and that much space to house them. A private player come and he offered his land, and according to our 3310 3.11 regulations, he had built a PAP tenements for them. So now in this case, the private player offered more equity because he offered his land. In that place, we are only planning authority, and the forest department got its work done. Otherwise, forest department doesn't have the ability to do the housing for them. In the whole process, everybody is happy, and this is, I think, the best example in our case of PPP, public-private cooperation. Now, facing challenges and innovations. Nowadays, we saw that number of private builders have failed due to financial constraints. So we have innovated our approach. Now we are giving the lenders those projects so that lender can't lose when they lend money to a builder. So that there should be confidence in the financial sector that if they lend to our projects, means SRA projects, then they are not going to fail. Because if a builder fail, then there is a protection for his money. Second approach is that we are not the schemes are done by the government in JV model. Means government's two departments are doing some scheme which are not financially viable otherwise. So that the lucrative scheme can be done by the private player and this scheme can be. So anyhow we are trying to improve and take up the cause of affordable housing and giving a city a clean image.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I would like to come to Mr. Kushal Banerjee now. Can you share a case study of PPP that has significantly improved the efficiency in your any of your projects in housing development?
I can talk about many because in oil and gas sector in HPCL, a lot of collaborations happen with top class players. In fact, whether it's automation or refinery technology or the blending operation or your carousel technology or the LPG plants, all those everywhere it is there. If you talk about one recent, I was just talking to you about the startup, the way we interact with them, we develop them, we jointly work with them, and then we deploy those new technologies, what we bring in from them, with joint innovation, and then we reap the benefits and share with the industry. So one such is 4 5 years back, we started working with a startup on I was showing you about the pipelines, what we have got of 5,000 pipelines across crisscross across the country, and these pipelines are very very important, especially in India, where a lot of thefts happen, petrol, diesel, and LPG, and those thefts are very very deadly and safety related, fire related, because common people, local people, they don't understand the fire hazard out of it. So we keep pipeline walkers throughout. Every 20 kilometer, one walker will be there across season, rain, night, every time they are deployed, and we have got a centralized control room from where we monitor. We have got a geolocation. Through that, we can monitor from where some disturbance has come or some vibration. Through the basis of some vibration, we come to know something is happening there in that area. So people go and reach there. So that is to be problematic because people manually going, somebody reporting, walkers, pipeline walkers walking across. This is not a very suitable system and all. So we started working with this startup. He came with a software management system of the pipelines, entire pipeline infrastructure. So within a distance, if somebody is digging or a tractor is moving behind next to the pipeline, whatever it is, we started getting those alarms in the control room, and those alarms again were further screened into false alarms. Many times it need not be an attempt to theft. It is just somebody is digging somewhere outside and all. So those things again were jointly developed, screened. Then we rolled out as a POC pilot for a Bombay Pune Sholapur pipeline and monitored it. So as a huge gain was seen from there. We started monitoring, and pipeline workers were asked not to go through the hardships. We reduced that. And then our pipeline management system became so good, so fast, the decision making used to happen, so that we gave him a order worth 2.5 crore to that startup to deploy across the pipelines. So he has done, and now he has been getting picked up by other industry members, all industry members. He is getting picked up by Gulf, those nations where a lot of pipelines are there. So this is one example where we really worked with them, innovated on a software management system, on a pipeline management. So this is, I wanted to share. There are many like this, what we are getting from these partnerships.
So to conclude this topic today and this panel discussion, I would just like to quickly come to each one of you and ask your perceptions, your views about the road ahead for driving innovation and efficiency in housing projects one by one, sir. If I could start with you, Partha, sir. The road ahead and your concluding remarks.
Uh, again, as Robert Frost says, miles to go and promises to keep. So as Pooja told that we have to see a road ahead, what the future is in store for us. As all of us know that the PMAOI guideline is very, very clear. Housing for all. And that is the spirit behind this, the end philosophy of the entire project we are executing in. And private public partnership is not new, but it is constantly being renewed in its approach, in its strategies, in its collaborations. That we also keep an organic pace with the change in time and technology. They also do that. So it is always a win-win situation. My only concern is that if we cannot evolve a proper policy framework by taking all the stakeholders' views and concerns, then that policy will eventually fail. So if we think that an affordable housing can be possible through this model, which have been successful in our state, maybe in other states also it might have been successful, in other departments it might have been successful as well here. So why not? Why not bank up on this and take this model ahead and put all the recent, all innovations, whatever we have, best practices we listen from others, we learn and all, we can always execute that. There could be court cases, there could be some impossible things which cannot be executed, but there is always a plan B for us, how best we can do that. But our ultimate aim is that we have to provide the houses to all. Poorest of the poor has to need a shelter. That's why I started in my speech in the beginning what Matthew Desmond says, that housing is dignity, housing is stability. Housing is the only thing, if you do not have a shelter, then the entire ecology of life fails. You cannot go ahead. So this is what I feel that if we have this in mind, that कि हाँ हमको घर बनाना है, then बना सकते हैं आप. There could be challenges. There could be many challenges. Every day we face the challenges. We all officers face challenges. लेकिन वही होना चाहिए. लास्ट एक लाइन में बोल दूंगा, मैं उड़ना चाहता हूं, मैं उड़ना चाहता हूं, मैं दौड़ना चाहता हूं, मैं गिरना भी चाहता हूं, लेकिन मैं रुकना नहीं चाहता. I want to fly, I want to run, I may fall down, but I will not stop. We keep on trying. Thank you.
Sir, I would list one more. Shambharkar, sir, any views on the road ahead and your closing remarks, sir, one line each. So, Kushal, sir, you want to say something?
Yeah, I just wanted to say I was just seeing a clipping when during the lunchtime when Prime Minister was talking reform, perform, transform. That will only happen when there is a partnership. We collaborate, take each other's the plus point, the strengths, and in various aspects, various areas apart from housing, infrastructure, renewable energy integration, financing support, sustainable development, every huge possibilities there. Collaboration, working together, creating an innovation, perform and taking to new heights. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, our esteemed panelists and our wonderful audience. I